All right, welcome back. This is Jovan, the founder of ROASForm, and today I want to give you guys a quick update on where things are at and how it's going. So it's been about a month that I posted my last video, and if you guys don't know, I'm building ROASForm to be a SaaS to do $1 million in ARR, and I'm documenting the journey. So right now we just crossed the 3-month mark. So I started building this in the end of September, and it took about just under 3 months to build the V1. And I posted a video about a month ago when we got our first paying client, the customer, I should say. They paid $1,000 for an annual plan. So that was the first customer we got, and it was really exciting. But since then, a lot has happened. So I wanted to fill you guys in. So first of all, I made a post on X. And I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit in this video. And pretty much I shared the dumbest mistake I made for the first 3 months of actually building my SaaS. And so I wanted to share that in this video with you guys because I think you can learn a lot from this. So the first mistake I did was I tried vibe coding a big part of the code myself. So with AI code being so popular now and it's so easy to whip up something that feels like a real SaaS, I thought, yeah, this is totally the way to do it. It's going to cost me way less than hiring like expensive developers or an agency, and I can just build it out myself. I don't need to rush. I can take my time and I can do that. And so I did that, right? But then I started to run into some issues. And so then I was like, okay, well, let me hire a couple of developers and let me manage these developers so that I can build faster. You know, I was spending so much time, like 8-10 hours a day building with no code, debugging, trying to fix things. And I was like, you know what, let me just hire like two, 3 developers, test them out, and manage the project, you know, just give them try to assign them the different parts of the thing they need to build and what they're responsible for. And let's see how it goes. And, you know, I spent about $15,000 over the course of 3 months paying these developers and with all my expenses and everything. And the results, well, I ended up building something that took a lot of time to fix the bugs. And I built something with unscalable backend infrastructure. I made a post on X if you guys want to check it out. So what that means is there was a lot of bugs, okay? And there's probably still some bugs. Probably not any major bugs, but there's still bugs. And so it took a while to get this thing sorted out. And the problem is I started getting customers signing up, but these bugs kind of kept popping up. So that was an issue because you gotta understand that people, when they use a form builder, when they're sending leads and sending ad spend and traffic to a page with the form builder, which is what ROASForm is, it captures leads and books calls. They need it to work, because if it doesn't work, they might be spending $3,000 a day sending traffic, and if it doesn't work, even for half the day, they just lost over $1,000 because they were sending traffic to a form builder or a page that had my form builder on it, and it wasn't working. So it's very high stakes. And if that happens, like, they're just gonna cancel and stop using it and go back to whatever they were using before, right? So it needs to be super, super stable. And it took a while to get things stable. Like, bugs just kept appearing out of nowhere. So that was very frustrating. The second problem here is that I was very optimistic that I could actually manage a team of developers as a non-technical founder. And let me tell you, I did not succeed. I did not succeed because we built something where the backend infrastructure is totally unscalable. And we have a SaaS right now that, yeah, it's working, okay, like, it's working. But if we check some of the API speeds, like behind the hood, like some of the API call, the speeds of it, if we check the infrastructure, and like once, you know, hundreds or thousands of users start using this, like, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to be able to scale up that way. And if we need to build additional features on top of it, the code base is so poorly coded. The code is so not clean. Like, the code is so unclean. There's so many duplicate code and stuff because a lot of it was coded with AI that And also, it was also coded with junior developers. I tried to save money, so I hired kind of more inexperienced developers, and the code base is just a mess. And it's a mess so much so to the point where we have to rebuild the entire code base from scratch now. So what I did was I hired a development agency. It's one of the best ones that I know in my network, and I hired them, and they told me pretty much what I'm telling you now. It's like, yeah, the code base is a mess, and we can work with this if you really want us to. We could try to like refactor things and like try to fix this and that, but like really, like if you really want to, like if your plan is to continue to scale this, like they pretty much said like we recommend that you just rebuild the whole code base. And the guy wasn't telling me this just to tell me it, just so they could get me as a customer. Like the guy was telling me, look, if you want to do it with your current code, like we can, but like I'm telling you as a CTO, like I do not recommend it at all. And it's gonna just burn, and it's gonna create more problems down the road, pretty much. So I decided I was like, all right, let's move forward then, let's recode it. And the thing is that it's going to cost me the same amount. It's going to roughly cost me the same amount to get them to recode everything I have, but to code it in a clean way with clean code that's scalable with a proper backend infrastructure that's scalable. It's going to cost me about the same. It's going to cost me about like I said, about $15,000. And so part of me wishes that I just did that, moved in that direction from the start. But the reason I didn't, and I think the reason a lot of people won't do that is, well, first of all, because AI code is all the hype. So people think that, oh yeah, just because it looks like it's working, that it's actually working, and then it's scalable. But two, the thing is that I had this idea of the SaaS I wanted to build. And it was built by me kind of, let's just say, scratching my own itch, right? Or seeing a problem in the industry that I had, right? And then I know that there's a lot of other marketers and agencies that have the same problem, right? Which is they want to get more leads, they want to get more scheduled calls, they want to get higher conversion rates, right? So for example, instead of spending $10,000 in ads and getting maybe 50 booked calls and 100 leads, what if you could spend the same ad spend but get 200 leads and get 100 booked calls, right? Now you have twice as many sales opportunities, right? Which means now your salespeople will close twice as much revenue, which means your revenue and your profit and your return on your ad spend can be doubled, right? Simply by just creating a software that can get more of those conversions, right? And so what I notice is a lot of the softwares, they're not really optimized for that, right? Like a lot of people right now, and I know I can speak for myself, when I was running my agency, I wasn't happy with the tools available, right? Even tools with Go High Level, like the form builder there is like brutal, So a lot of people use like a third-party form builder, but now the issue is you need to make zaps and push data from one app to another, or use webhooks, and you still can't like have people book a call while they're on the form if you're using like Go High Level as calendar, for example, right? You can't split test forms. You can't change the UI of the form, the animations of the form you can't change, right? So like I believe that there's a gap in the market, right? Based on my experience. And so I was like, all right, let me build a SaaS. But the thing is that, the smarter way to do it is to actually check and prove that there is a demand for what you want to build, right? And I skipped that part, right? I skipped that step because A, I was in the market myself, and B, my gut feeling was just really, really strong about this. It was really, really strong. And so I did a little bit of proving that there's actually a market for this. I reached out to a few people. I had like 3 people say, yo, if you can build that, I would definitely pay for it. And then so I would sign up. And so I only had 3 people say that. But for me, I just took those 3 people with the combination of my experience, with the combination of my gut feeling, I took that as enough proof to pursue building ROASForm and to pursue building the SAAS. Now, a much better way to do it is to go get at least 50 people to prepay, for example, for your SAAS. That way, you're like, first, you can remain certain that there's a demand for this and that people will pay for whatever solution or software that you're building, right? But I skipped that part, like I said. So because I skipped that part, I didn't want to take too much of a gamble, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm taking a gamble, I'm taking a risk, I'm placing a bet. I didn't want to place too big of a bet and be wrong, right? So that's why I thought I would just code it with AI and hire a few cheap developers. And I thought that, yeah, within 4 weeks, we'll have everything ready. 4 weeks turned into 8 weeks, 8 weeks turned into 11 weeks, and $15,000 later, well, we finally had the V1 live, right? And so that's pretty much how that went down. Now that it's been 3 months, what I will tell you is that what I wish I did earlier is that I wish I just like what I'm doing now, right? Is now I have to rebuild the entire code base. So now I hired an agency, and this agency I have a CTO now, right? So I have a chief technical officer. He's the head of the agency, and he's going to be overseeing everything in terms of the tech side. So he's going to be overseeing the infrastructure, the architecture, the developers, the designers, front end, back end, everything. He's going to take care of everything. And so for me, now I just have one point of contact. I know this guy's super legit. If you guys want, if you guys want help, if you guys need an agency, just like send me an email or leave a comment, and I can send you their website. Yeah, you can send me an email. But pretty much, yeah. So I hired them, and they told me, yeah, it's going to cost about the same that you already paid, but we're going to be able to move pretty fast. And so now we're pretty much building out the V2 of ROASForm, and the V2 is going to be super sick. It's going to be super sick and super fast, and just it's going to be next level. And so, but right now we're in this kind of in between phase. We're in between the V1 and the V2. And so once V1 was finished, which was about 2-3 weeks ago in mid-December, what I did was I said, all right, now it's time to get customers. Let's see if we can actually get customers, right? So I got the first customer. He paid $1,000. I was super excited. I posted a video about it here on my YouTube. You guys can take a look. It's like 2-3 minutes long. And then I was like, all right, now it's time to turn on an acquisition channel, right? Let's turn on an acquisition channel. So yeah, we started. We turned on an acquisition channel with paid ads, and yeah, right now it's doing really good. And what I'm doing is I'm making people, once they create their account, I'm making people book an onboarding call with me. It's forced, so they can't even access the app if they don't book an onboarding call. And the reason I'm taking these calls is, first of all, I want to know, why did they even sign up? Like, what is it they saw about the marketing that made them actually want to sign up? 2, what is the problem that they're experiencing to make them actually look for a solution and sign up for a solution? And 3, I want to know who they are, right? I want to know who they are. And so far, pretty much every single person has been an agency. So has been a marketing agency. And so now I've had probably 12 calls, and almost every single person has been an agency, marketing agency or marketer with the exact same problem. They're running funnels, they're for clients. Some of them have 15 clients, some of them have 60 clients, right? And they want to get better results. They want to get more leads for their clients. They want to get more calls booked. They want to use a form builder that looks better, and they want to be able to measure the metrics and to see if things are improving or getting worse with their funnels, right? And with their conversions. Every single person. And so I was like, oh wow, yes, this was my initial This was my initial idea. This was my initial gut feeling telling me, hey, there's a bunch of people that have this problem. But the thing is, after the first month of starting development, I started to have a bunch of other ideas, right? Because then I started to think, let me actually make this for sales agencies. I wanted to add a bunch of features for sales agencies and sales teams, because if you look into that space, there's really not a whole lot of software that people are very happy with either. And so I thought, let me make this with feature sets for sales teams. But I realized that it's a bit more difficult to kind of explain to them what this does and why they should sign up for it. But the marketing agencies, it's like this. They just get it right away. They're like, oh, wow, yeah, that makes so much sense. Yeah, when I saw your ad, I was like, oh my God, what's this? This is cool. I need this. Let's see if it can get us better results, So it's very reaffirming, right? And it's very assuring. And it also puts me back on the initial vision I had, the initial gut feeling I had, to just build the best form builder, And so I've been getting people signing up. I've been getting about one person a day right now, signing up for a trial. And so right now we need to see what's going to happen. People are on trials, so we need to see what's going to happen. Today, actually, we just got our first trial converted today. So I've got $89 here in my Stripe account. So that's really cool. So that means so far the trial conversion rate, I had one guy cancel and one guy converted, so 50%. So we're going to see what the conversion is. We're going to need to see what the churn is. But my plan is pretty much once the V2 is launched to just go super hard on acquisition and to spend probably about $15,000 in the first month of just pushing traffic, getting signups, and then seeing how many convert and measuring and paying close attention to usage, and are they logging in, are they getting the first result quickly, and just optimizing kind of that onboarding experience, and the time until they get that first result, because that's really important when it comes to SaaS. But yeah, what I know for sure is that I need to move fast. I need to move fast, guys, because I'm not going to explain exactly why in this video. I'm going to keep that to myself. But the point is that I need to move fast and get market share ASAP, pretty much. And so, because timing is everything, guys. Let me tell you that. Timing is everything. When it comes to SaaS, timing is everything, right? Or maybe not everything, but it's half the battle, right? Half the battle is not just building something that people actually need, but building it at the right time. And right now is the time. And so yeah, that's the important thing right now, is to move fast. And I'm in a bit of a pickle here. I'm in a bit of a pickle because I don't really want to sign up more people for my V1. I want to wait until V2 is ready, because it's a lot more stable, and it's going to have features specifically for agencies, which right now the V1 doesn't have. So it's going to have features where they can easily switch out from sub accounts, right? And access different clients within one dashboard, and be able to quickly switch and change and just build a lot faster. And I'm going to have an agency plan, right? And right now V1 doesn't have that. So I'm able to get my dream customers signing up, right? I've proven that now over this past 2 weeks. I've gotten, like I said, we're getting about one person a day right now. I've talked to, like I said, about 15 people, and almost every single one was an agency. So now I have so much more confidence that what we're building and who we're building it for. And I've and guys, and this is with minimal effort. This is with minimal effort on the traffic acquisition side of things. This is very very half-assed. Okay, very half-assed. I just did this just to start pushing traffic, right? And it's working, and it's working. And so So that's why now I'm kind of in this weird spot where like, I don't want to keep pushing traffic, because I want the V2 to be ready. Because I know when that's ready, like I literally had a guy not sign up because he's like, yeah, no, like I have like, I think 50 clients, and like I don't want to have to log in and log out of every ROASForm account to manage each individual client. I want to have it all in one spot, which makes perfect sense. That's what agencies want. So yeah, that's why like that feature, for example, will be ready in the V2, and the V2 will be ready in about 6 weeks. So that's pretty much where that is. Another thing is that I've already spent a lot of money on this, right? Like I said, I've already spent, by the time V2 is out, I would have spent like $30,000. And my revenue is minimal, right? Like I have 2 paying customers right now, right? So the revenue is minimal. So what's going to be important is to start getting cash in once we start pushing, once V2 is live, once we start pushing traffic. And I think a great way to do that is going to be using annual plans. So what I actually think, I'm going to experiment with this, but I think I'm only going to allow agencies to have annual plans. That's kind of the idea. And obviously that will come with a nice discount. But I think once V2 is ready, like I think I'm going to start with that, because yeah, I could be having them come on monthly plans and paying, like $300 a month for like unlimited sub accounts, unlimited everything, right? But I think the play here is to push annual, because I need cash in, and so far, like I've told that to a few of the people that I was on the calls with, and they didn't flinch. They're like, all right, cool, yeah, so let's try the trial. So what I'm seeing is if this works for people the way that they're hoping it will and gets them better results, then I'm pretty sure they'll be very down to sign up for an annual plan and prepay. For example, I'm planning to charge like $300 a month, turn that into an annual plan. It's like $3,600 prepaid for a full year, right? So that's the idea, and that's kind of what I'm leaning towards very, very strongly here, to start recouping some of the initial costs. Like I said, where I'm going to be out about $30,000, plus the ad costs will probably be at like $45,000 by the end of February, right? And keep in mind, guys, this is all being bootstrapped, right? I have no investors, at least right now. I'm not raising any. I'm not going out and trying to raise funds either. So this is all bootstrapped right now, guys. So this is like serious stuff. Like if this doesn't work, I'm gonna be out, like, depends when I stop trying, right? But I'm gonna be out like anywhere between $40,000 to like $60,000, right? So yeah, it's definitely a big risk, but it just is. It's how it is, and it's part of the game. And yeah, I think it's cool to bootstrap and to risk your own money, if you strongly believe in what you're doing, And right now that's the case. So yeah, the idea is to launch those annual plans, and like pretty much, guys, I did the math, right? I did the math, and I'm gonna share with you the math real quick, but it's pretty crazy. So pretty much, I think that I can hit 1 million ARR based on the current numbers that I'm seeing in terms of our acquisition costs and everything. I believe that we can get to 1 million ARR. I'm just trying to find the calculation, because I want to get the numbers right here. So I believe that we can get to 1 million. Here it is. So if the AOV is $297 a month, which with agencies, it should be, right? Agencies will pay that. So that means to hit $1 million in ARR, I need to sign up 280 users that are agencies. Okay. And based on the current cost per acquisition, I just need to spend roughly around $300 to $600 a day in ad spend to hit 1 million ARR in 3 months. So if I spend $300 to $600 a day in ad spend, I should be able to get 280 paying customers that are agencies paying $297 a month. So my plan when we have V2 ready in February is to have all the marketing preloaded, all the marketing set up, preloaded, ready to go. Once V2 is ready, I push the red button, marketing flips on, acquisition channels flip on, and we just start spending. We start spending $300, $400, $500, $600 a day in ad spend. And if I do that, like I said, for 3 months, I believe we will be able to hit $1 million in ARR, annual recurring revenue. Now, this is pretty crazy to say that, and it's a very bold claim. It's a very big claim. It's a very ambitious claim, but I'm not just saying it. I'm not just pulling these numbers out of my butt, okay? I'm pulling these numbers in this time frame based on the traction that I've seen in these past 3 weeks. From once we finished our beta and launched V1, based on the users signing up, based on what they're saying, based on who I'm able to reach, and based on the cost that it costs me to reach these people, I believe that we can hit 1 million ARR in 3 months. If it takes me 4 months or 5 months, hey, I ain't complaining. I'm not going to be mad about that. But like I said, a big part of that will be making sure that people are getting that first result once they sign up quickly. Keeping an eye on the churn, which I honestly don't think will be a big, too much of a problem due to the nature of who I'm selling to, right? So I'm not just selling to like one person, one business. I'm selling to a business that's going to use this for like 15 or 20 or 30 other businesses. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, even if 2-3 of their clients churn, they still have another 27 that they're going to be using this for. So that's why I'm not too concerned about churn. But I'm sure there will be like churn, and I'll have to figure that out too. But I'm just saying, I think it won't be as difficult as probably for a lot of other SAASes. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to share in this video. I know I kind of shared about a lot and kind of jumped from different things, but yeah, I just had a lot here in my head that I wanted to just kind of get out. To be very honest with you, I'm very happy that this YouTube channel is very unknown right now. I think I have like 8 subscribers, and I'm very happy with that, because to be honest, I don't really want a lot of eyeballs on this right now. I'm happy to make these videos so I can look back on them, like, you know, in 6 months from now, in a year from now, and be like, oh yeah, look, like, damn, like I said that, I think we can do that, and hey, look, we did it, you know. And you know, if I don't mind if I have people, you know, trying to like copy my idea or like this and that, once I've already gained some market share. You know, that's the thing. It's pretty much a race to market share. And so yeah, that's why like right now, like I don't really care that there's only 8 people watching these videos. I know that in like a year from now or less, we're probably going to be already at like 1 mil ARR, maybe even 2 mil ARR. And so once we're there, then if these videos start to get way more views and more subscribers and more eyeballs, like then it's fine, you know. But at that point, I'm already like ahead of the curve, and so it's not as big of a concern. But right now, like I definitely feel like I've found a very, very nice pocket here. I definitely have concerns about my SaaS and about the market, and there's definitely some risky things, risky things that things outside of my control that could happen that would cause me for people to, for example, start canceling or not signing up, or have my my cost for acquisition like start to go way up. There's definitely some things that could happen in the market that would cause those things to happen to me and my SaaS. But yeah, so I definitely have some concerns. But even with those, I'm still moving forward full speed and trying to get this launched ASAP and start getting market share. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. We're gonna see what happens. Like I said, it's one thing I just want to say. It's bootstrapped, right? It's bootstrapped, but I am open to raising. I am open to raising funds, into raising money. So, I'll leave my email in the description, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm not sure how much I can say when it comes to raising money. I don't know how much I can say publicly. So that's why, like I said, I'm just stating, I'm just making a statement here. My statement is that right now we're bootstrapped, and raising money is something that I would be open to, and I'm leaving my email in the description. That's pretty much all I'm saying. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Also, if you guys want coaching, if you guys want hop on a call with me and get coached by me or get mentored by me, you can also email me. I charge $2,000 per hour, so it's quite expensive. But if you're running an agency, marketing agency, sales agency, if you have a sales team or marketing, they're trying to figure out operations, systems, client acquisition, anything like that, I'm your guy. I can definitely help you with that. And yeah, I can definitely help you with that because I've built a lot of different companies, and I can help you with that. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, once again, you can send me an email. That's the end of this video, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted. Cheers.